ladies and gentlemen, students and studentesses. Thank you so much once more for joining us right here at rayetse.co.za. Now, the assignment that we're doing is English 2613. That's English 2613 assignment number 2. The due date for this assignment is the 10th of June 2020. Let's hear from our learned tutor, Lehlogonolo Ntodi, and hear what she has to say about the subject matter. Thank you so much once more. Remember, here at Rayetse, we do care about your mental health. This is why we've got a psychologist who's ready and willing to help you out no matter what. So let's hear what Lehlogonolo Ntodi has to say. Note from the tutor, that's her. Hey guys, I hope you're well. This tutorial includes some examples meant for visual stimulus. Please remember not to copy this content verbatim, as you will be guilty, of plagiarism. Question 2 of section B was not answered since it requires you to be in touch with your imagination. This in order to script your own personal drama. If you read unit 4 of your tutorial letter, you should be fine. Let's go straight into it. Section A, question 1. Now, poetry in motion refers to giving vitality and life to the words written on paper through visuals, movement, sound effects, or just merely speaking. Examples of poetry in motion include spoken word poetry, the first one, and the second one, poetry paired with art. As you can see with the example over there, you've got Skilo Mokole. That guy looks like one of those Easy Dingo gangsters, almost. So the third one, poetry as expressed through contemporary dance. And of course, you've got the link there. Poetry, lyricism expressed using instruments. Those are interesting. Guys, this is poetry. You need to definitely be in touch with your emotional self. Of course, you need to find out how you can interpret it. And the beauty of poetry is seeing how the poet actually writes and plays with songs and techniques that are at their disposal. Now, question 2. Literal interpretation of poetry is interpreting poetry by ascribing the words in the poem with their ordinary grammatical meaning in terms of the dictionary. For example, the grass looks green. Figurative interpretation of poetry would require one to employ poetic devices which are used to analyze poetry, such as metaphors, alliteration, hyperbole, etc., to give meaning to the words used in the poem itself. For example, her tears were like a river flowing down her cheeks. Question 3. Now, these points are merely examples to facilitate your direction. Remember, Lehlogonolo would like for you to actually learn how to answer these questions as opposed to just getting the answers spoon-fed to you. You won't learn anything. Trust you me. And carrying on with the third question. Now, the problems which the children could be experiencing may include the following. A lack of confidence in pronunciation of certain words within the poem itself. To remedy this, the educator can preach and normalize the notion that, in inverted commas, there is no master of pronunciation. This as a form of reassurance for the children. This creates a safe space for children to read poetry without the fear of being judged or being ridiculed, to say that we no get away, which means you don't understand anything. And I get it. Poetry can be a tad bit daunting because thee, thou, how, thou, he, thou, the poetry, rose, sablu, it might not make sense, but that's something called abstract art. Please look it up, abstract art. Carrying right along. Children may struggle with the hidden meanings within the poem. The educator can remedy this by drawing allegories from the everyday experiences of the children to make the poem more relatable. Now, that's a smart educator right there. Language barriers might be a problem. If we are to be envisioning a multicultural classroom, educators need to grasp the reality of language being inaccessible, more especially within the scope of poetry. The educator could remedy this by attempting to translate words, use visual aids to stimulate understanding as well. Question number 4. The five elements of the 5 elements of literary fiction are as follows. Please refer to your study guide unit for the definitions. The first is plot, setting, third is theme, style, and the fifth is characterization. Section B, question 1. Please note that page 84 of your tutorial letter will be very helpful in tackling this paragraph. The points which I'll be elucidating, let me read that again for you. The points which I will be elucidating on are merely for mental stimulus on the matter. It's carrying right along. Importance of multi-literacy learning in the classroom. Cultural diversity characters create a more realistic feel and reflects the demographic of the classroom, enabling students to feel empowered to see themselves reflecting in literature. Multiliteracy stimulates cultural curiosity within the classrooms and leaves everybody a little more knowledgeable about a different culture. The classroom becomes an arena for diversification and cultural respect. Multiliteracy stimulates interaction because it will not be remote. It will be close to home so that the learners will be able to relay their lived experiences in the context of the group. Ingrains a greater understanding regarding the differences in humanity, but also illuminates the fact that journeys intersect regardless of cultural background. This is an opportunity take-home message for learners because it molds them into model citizens who not only understand but embrace differences. Question 2, Section B. Now, according to Letlogonolo Ntodi, this is a subjective interpretation about how you could create a drama using your own study, Unit 4. Now, give an example to this makes it very susceptible to being used by each and every one of us, which would really defeat the purpose of creative writing, the intention, if you may. So she asks that we all employ our imaginations. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This was sweet and short. Remember, at rayetse.co.za, we care about your psychological health. Academic health is psychological health, and psychological health is academic health. Please go onto our website, find out how you can get help, somebody to speak with at any time. Thanks, and good luck with the assignment.